Hi, I'm Dave White and this is HSQETV. I'm joined today by Ben, who's an ecologist. Ben, so people might want to know what an ecologist does, so could you explain to us what you do and in particular what you do for RSS?
Yeah, so my name's Ben. I am a partner in my ecology firm, and generally, by definition, an ecologist will study the plants, animals and their relationship with their environment. But that translates into industry slightly differently, so we're looking at trying to avoid or mitigate for potential impacts which any construction or maintenance or land management might incur.
And is there any specific things that you do for us as RSS, as an ecologist, that that helps us with delivering our works for clients?
Yeah, absolutely. So recently we've been very heavily involved with working on the rail lines, with the maintenance of the rail lines and also the electrification of the South Wales area. And there's always an ecologist working closely with the RSS teams. So as I said before, where the avoidance of, say, nesting bird season can't be done because the maintenance has to go on, we'll be there to mitigate any potential effects. So our team of ecologists will be out on the ground, hand searching thoroughly any vegetation which needs to come out, and they'll also be keeping an eye out for things like invasive species or any other protected species like badger sets or potential for bats to be roosting in the trees as well, and we move on from there.
Okay. And in terms of, you mentioned invasive species and risk to us as RSS, what's the sort of things that you look for that will help us to manage and mitigate the risk on site?
Yeah, so if either an ecologist or a team of the RSS comes across an invasive species that potentially could cause harm, like giant hogweed, we'd immediately be informed, and we'd look to set up an exclusion zone and then also report that as an incident so that everyone knows the location and an eradication programme can be put in place as quick as possible.
Good stuff. I'm now joined by Graham Talbot, who's our head of ARB for RSS. Graham, obviously you've put this together and just give us a quick explanation, if it's okay, mate, to why you've done it and the importance of it.
Yeah, so annually I like to get all of the climbers together in particular, just as a refresher, an aerial rescue refresher day. It's a course that they do, they only have to do it once and they never have to refresh it. However, should the need for them to ever use that skill, if they haven't refreshed it, it's a skill that can easily fade. So I like to get all of the climbers, and as you can see in the background, we've got the fake dummy there, just to demonstrate that they can carry out a safe aerial rescue on a casualty, whether the casualty's injured himself or is unconscious. It also refreshes them on the up-to-date new equipment that can be used, such as ascending devices for the rope, because they're always turning out new technology. So it's just to keep the guys up to date with that, and so they know how to use it should one of their colleagues be using such an ascender. Yeah, and then we've also got a bit of fun, added a bit of an element of fun to the day. We've got a quiz over there, which is all about tree identifications, involving the Latin name and the English name. And kind of matching with the laminated leaves as well, so they've got to kind of match the leaves with the correct names. And we've also got a climbing competition as well, where there's 5 ribbons set up in the tree. The climber has to ascend, touch all of the ribbons, and then descend the tree in an identified drop zone. And then we time it as well, so it's a timed event, and then the winner gets a nice Amazon voucher. So yeah.
And then one of the things I'm massively pleased about is the fact that you are practicing emergency planning. So how important do you think that is with regards to having to plan and actually do it? Because I know people don't practice it. So what's the main incentive for that?
Yeah, so it should the event ever occur where one of their colleagues is injured themselves up a tree, it is essential that they know the exact procedure, the exact method of things to do. And that is what today is about. It's imperative that that skill does not fade. And today is just to refresh them and keep them up to date with everything, really.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, mate.
So yeah, for everything from the point of work risk assessment through to the rescue itself, we're doing it today. So It's really good. So
Yeah, good
thank
stuff.
you.
It's good to see you, mate.
Cheers. Thank you.
Hi, yeah, I work for Network Rail. I'm the Maintenance Protection Coordinator, basically managing public expectations of our off-track department.
So Jack, obviously today we're here and we're doing our safety stand down day with the Arb department. I'm just wondering, as a client, how you feel about this and what we're doing?
Well, for me it's good to see everyone getting together. It's a really good event to work collaboratively, but we don't obviously maintain competence for aerial rescue, and it's good that our teams, they're up in trees almost every week, so it's very important that we make sure that competence is there for safety purposes. And for everyone else that's here that isn't anyone that works in trees or cuts down trees, it's important for them to see the work that we instruct our teams to do and make sure they're doing that safely.
And then obviously the work that we do as, in our division, how important do you think that is to you as a client and Network Rail and the infrastructure in general?
For Network Rail, it's extremely important. They're probably one of the highest risk things along our railway. We live in a country that gets storms every year as a guarantee. During storms, they're extremely important to make sure that they're assessed properly, and following them, we get RSS and other contractors out to make sure that they're managed so that we can go back to normal operations, because delays that are caused through fallen trees cost us thousands of pounds every year.
I hope you found this video really insightful. Join me next time for HSQETV. I'm Dave White, Head of Safety. Take care and stay safe.